What's a mutual fund? What's a mutual
I need
fund?
help.
What's an ETF? What's an ETF?
Joel,
Oh, just stop!
Okay, rude.
No, look, I hear this all the time. What's the difference between an ETF and a mutual fund? What are the pros? What are the cons? Well, don't you worry, today is the day that we're going to talk about all of that. Hi, I'm Joel Anderson, and I'm here with Invested, where we talk about all of the tips, tricks, and techniques for investing. Today, like I said, we're talking about ETFs and mutual funds. So the core thing here is the difference between passive and active management. And this essentially means, are you going to just take a big group of stocks as a whole and say however they do, and I'm fine with that? Or are you going to try and pick and choose which stocks you invest in and try and get better returns than you would as the whole? Simply put, that's it. When you look at a mutual fund, which is by far the most popular form of investing for most retail investors, those are actively managed, meaning that they have a fund manager who picks out a whole bunch of different stocks that he thinks are better than all the other stocks, and they gather them together in this one big basket or a fund, and then you invest in the fund. So it's a simple way to get a whole lot of diversification for your money. And in a lot of ways, that's gonna be great for most people. However, when you look at an ETF, that's different in the sense that it's passively managed. ETFs basically just say, hey, we're gonna grab an index and we're just going to pick the stocks in that index in the right proportion so that it mimics the performance of that index. Doesn't try to do better, doesn't try to do worse, just does exactly as well as that index does. What does this really mean? Well, the key thing to understand here is that there's not actually any evidence that having somebody pick out stocks for you is at all helpful. Almost none of them can say consistently over 3 to 5 years they're doing better than the market is. In terms of performance, ETFs and mutual funds are pretty similar. The issue here is that you're paying the people who are picking out those stocks in your mutual fund. There's something called an expense ratio, which is sort of what percent of the money invested in this fund is getting kept by the people who are putting it together. And ETFs have much lower expense ratios because they're not hiring a staff of researchers and analysts to look at a whole bunch of different stocks. They're just saying, hey, the S&P 500 is the S&P 500, and that's what we're investing in. So which one's gonna be better for you? Well, that depends on you. A lot of people are just gonna feel more comfortable having an educated, experienced professional picking out the stocks that they're investing in. Other people are just not gonna see the reason to pay a little bit extra fees. Push comes to shove though, it's better to be invested in one or the other, or some of both, than not invested at all. The worst thing you can do is let indecision and a lack of understanding about this prevent you from investing at all, okay? So in that sense, both are great options. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that we've answered all your questions. And if we haven't, make sure you leave a comment below and we will try and answer it. Thank you.